This movie is a satire, but it is also a courtroom drama. It is also kind of a fantasy, and it is somewhat mystical. I honestly don't know how to even explain this film. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and I will be talking about the latest Malayalam release, Mahaveeryar, which is written and directed by Abrid Shine. So I went for the movie yesterday, and shockingly when I entered, I was like 5 minutes late and the introduction credits had already started rolling, and I look at the movie theater and it's like empty. I got so scared, but I just went and I took my seat and I was thinking that, oh my god, am I going to watch this movie alone? But thankfully 5 minutes later, one more person walked in. So in total, there were 2 people, including me, watching this film. This is the first time in my life where I went to the theaters to watch a film with so much excitement and it was this freaking empty. But thankfully this disappointment faded away once the movie started playing and I was completely immersed into this world. I will obviously be not giving any spoilers, because if I do, like even if I give a mild spoiler, it will ruin the viewing experience. All I can say is expect the unexpected while watching this. This is absolutely not everybody's cup of tea. It is not a mass commercial film. Whatever you might think that, I'm going to predict while watching the scene that, okay, this is the direction that the story might take. You can't do the guesswork, because the film will just throw you off completely. You can actually put this in the category of an experimental movie which is actually trying to attempt something very, very different. The storyline is so bizarre and out of the box that I kept thinking, what is the point that this movie is trying to prove? Because till the very end, you actually won't be able to guess it. And when the movie ends, there's this quote that appears on the screen before the end credits start rolling, and you'll be like, so that was the point. After watching the film, the very first thing which came in my mind is that either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. There is no middle ground. What I can tell you is that the major chunk of the film is spent in the courtroom. So the movie pre-interval is the courtroom drama, which you can categorize it probably as realistic, and the movie post-interval is the courtroom drama, which is more fantastical and more mystical. Why all the characters have ended up in the court, who's on trial, what the trial is for, is, well, something that you have to discover when you go and watch this film. For me, I personally like the writing of the second half of the courtroom drama, because as the revelations keep happening, they just get more wacky and bizarre. The movie is written in such a way that as an audience, you would think that, what is the point of this? What exactly is this movie trying to tell us? The main core or the main message that the writer and the director is trying to convey is essentially human behavior. That how, depending on the situation, we might want to make ourselves perceived in front of others' eyes. For example, if someone with a lot of power and authority is in front of us and we know that we can seek some sort of advantage from that person, we might change our behavior accordingly. I just want to take the example of the judge, which is played so wonderfully by Siddique and is my favorite character from this movie. Through the course of the film, the way he talks, the way he conveys his thoughts, you would make a certain image about him or a certain perception about him in your head. But by the end of the movie, the behavioral change that he has, it's so funny and scary at the same time. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell you the context, but the way this shift in his behavior happens, I went from laughing to utter shock. This is the strongest thing about the writing and the direction of this film, that you just don't know what is going to happen. The only weak point or the negative about the writing that I found out was that, see, I don't like when the makers completely spoon feed the audience, that you're just giving in all the information to us, making us look like we are idiots and we'll not get the context. I don't like that. But the other extreme is also not okay. Don't keep it so open to interpretation that we are completely at loss. I feel that the makers here needed to create a proper balance, that how much to tell the audience, how much to spoon feed, and how much to sort of hold back and make the audience's brain tickle and leave it open for interpretation. Here I felt that there were a lot of unnecessary loose ends that was really not required. So I'm all in appreciation of the way the characters have been written, the world building, the context set, the bizarre out of the box thinking, all of that was good. But when it came to driving the point or the message that the movie was trying to convey, I thought the writing execution there was somewhat lacking, because after the movie ended, there was some sort of dissatisfaction in my heart. Besides that, the movie is technically very sound, specifically the cinematography and the lighting. The lighting of this film is brilliant. There's a distinct shift from first half to the second half in the lighting and the color grading of this film. Cinematography wise, I think the courtroom was captured very, very beautifully. Even, the king's palace and all of that, it was done very well. Music is fabulous. I loved all the songs. Like, surprisingly, I enjoyed all the songs, and the BGM was also very engaging. Now, editing wise, I feel that the first half of the film was more superiorly edited than the second half, even though I like the writing of the second half more, but pacing wise, it drags a little bit. But the biggest strength of this film are the performances specifically of Lal and Siddique. These two actors have just knocked it out of the park. Like, I loved Nivin and I loved Asif Ali. They did their roles really well. But it is Siddique and Lal as the judge and the king respectively who have just stolen the show. So if you really want to see a truly experimental and an out-of-the-box movie, then yeah, keep an open mind and then go watch it. But if you really think that no, I don't want to take the risk and spend my hard-earned money on watching this, which I might or might not enjoy, then I would highly suggest you wait for the OTT release. And this is the exact reason why I said that, and it's completely a personal opinion, that you might either hate it or you might love it. There is literally no middle ground. But I really, really have to appreciate the writer and the director here, because he has taken the first step. He has taken the first step in making this film, and something which I have never seen before. So I highly, highly appreciate it, because it has been executed in a very, very decent way. It's not like he thought of a great idea and the movie is all over the place. No, the execution also is decent. And I hope that this becomes a stepping stone for other makers who want to make a different kind of film, but are probably, holding themselves back because they don't know how the audience is going to react. I honestly would say that Mahaveeryar is a good start. And yes, those were my very quick thoughts on the Malayalam film Mahaveeryar. Please let me know your verdict after you had watched this film, or if you have watched it or not. Are you thinking of watching it or not? I definitely want to know in the comments below. And yes, with that, I will end this video here. I hope you enjoyed this and have come till the end, and I'll see you soon on my next one. Bye!